Nation! Utah!
Slapshot Universe, what's up? It's John and Leroy back with our shitty podcast. We've missed you. We hope you had a marvelous Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever holiday you want to celebrate during that time. But welcome back for another episode. Leroy, it's so good to see you. The new year is on the horizon. And how are we feeling, brother?
We're feeling good. We're feeling really good. I got a message from Mammoth Nation, and I need you all to hear it. Listen, have you been watching the NHL news? Have you been watching the standings? Have you been watching some of these teams? Let's talk real quick. You remember the world champion Florida Panthers and what a terrible fucking team? What a shit show they look like for this first 10, 15 games? Well, it's over now. They found themselves. They look a little bit more like the team that's going to kick ass and take names. Well, let's talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning. Remember they got off to a real rough start? Oh, hey, look, Tampa Bay Lightning, they look like a team that might be in the running again. Oh, I don't know. How about the laughing stock of the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres, whom I followed a lot of Sabres fans on NHL Twitter just because they were so funny about losing. What's this? The Buffalo Sabres have won 8 flipping games straight. So what I'm trying to get at is that since the last time we talked, I don't know where we were, Mammoth. They're doing all right, but guys, we're right back to what we said a few weeks ago. The whole school can change on a dime. It only takes 1 or 2 weeks. It's one winning streak after another that puts things back to where they are. Some of these teams are finding themselves, and you got some of these other teams. Well, listen, as much as I love the Ducks are starting to settle down. Well, the Blackhawks have found out that they're the dregs of the league, even though they had some hot moments early on. Of course, Bedard has been out. What I'm really getting around to is this, Mammoth fans. We are currently sitting at 18 wins, 18 losses, and 3 overtime losses. You know what that means? We're within striking distance. We just got to survive to the Olympic break. Buys us some time. We get Logan Cooley back, and you know what we're ready for? Did you say playoffs? Somebody say playoffs? We're talking about a playoff run, boys. All we got to do is stay in the game. We've got some bad teams right now in the Central. The Blackhawks are shit. The Predators are shit. The Blues are shit. And surprise, surprise, the Winnipeg Jets are absolute dog shit. We can just stay in this, some will say mediocrity, but I'll say with the NHL, there's a lot of parity going on. Right now, our biggest competition is the San Jose Sharks, maybe even the Calgary Flames, who have been playing great hockey over the last 10 games. All I want to say is that if we continue to react with just 1 week after another, you're just getting yourself ready for heartache. And guys, what we're really talking about here, it is a time to step up. We've got a good long break. It is time to get real and get with the identity of this team. I'm looking forward to it. I think we're playing decent hockey. I think we're about right where we should be. John, tell me what your reaction is to that.
No, I'm right with you, Lee. Like if we all wanted to be like Stanley Cup contenders in the second year, because we're all like we just love to be fans and be whatever.
Utah wants a winner.
But I think we're all exactly where we thought we were gonna be. I think we're in the middle of the road. I think that our young players, we can't emphasize more. The loss of Logan Cooley is a detrimental, dude. But we still have players that, like, a couple weeks ago, I had my friend Milo, shout out, telling me Vanacek sucks. He played his ass off at Colorado. losing
Yeah.
1-0 to Colorado is not bad. They've only lost 2 games so far in regular time in like whatever time, regulation time.
Regulation. Yeah.
So like, dude, we're not like we're right there, Mammoth Nation. There's no need to panic, no need to pull the fire alarm, even though it's fun and it makes for great content. But I'm with you, Leroy. I'm proud of this team. I I do like that we had this break during Christmas, like this Christmas week. But I have a suggestion to the NHL, Leroy. And let's
Yeah.
see how you feel about this. So the NBA and the NFL for the last couple of years have been battling for Christmas Day. No
Yeah.
one does Christmas Eve. Why does the NHL not dominate the Christmas Eve slate? And we do Utah, Colorado, 40-minute flight. We do Islanders, Rangers in the same arena. We do we have an NHL like 4 or 5 games of teams that are in a close vicinity, and the NHL just dominates Christmas Eve, and that becomes a new tradition for families across the world. Don't
Yeah.
you think that would be
I
awesome,
agree
dude?
100%. We don't need a full slate. We just need
No.
3 games. We need a 2
Yeah.
5 and an
Tampa
8 p.m.
Bay and
start.
Miami. Like just close enough games to where New Jersey, throw a New Jersey team in there just so they can still go home, be with their families. But the NHL just dominates the Christmas Eve slate. I think it would be awesome.
Well, John, the NHL, at least the modern NHL, is notorious for shooting themselves in the dick when it comes to promoting their own product. These what is this year's Frozen? What is it when they play outside? It's all in
Oh,
Florida this year.
yeah. What I
Look,
don't remember.
I listen. Oh, never mind.
Whatever the Frozen.
Yeah, whatever it is. Listen, I'm right with you. I think I got to tell you, hockey's kind of the only sport that I'm really enthusiastic about anymore.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm getting
and
close,
so that's just it.
dude.
I was really missing it. I was
Me
like,
too.
like flipping around, like, oh shit, there's no hockey on this holiday.
I was like, what are we even going to talk about? Honestly, all week I was like, what are we even going to talk about?
You know what is fucking the whole thing up is the de-evolution of college football. And like some of these bowl games that used to be so cool, and now you got people holding
There's
out
too many. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. We don't need that.
Yeah, that's a shambles. But listen, man. Look, hockey's back. It was back yesterday. It's back today. Great games on today. Some of these teams that are playing, just some great hockey, great fun hockey. Hockey from the Islanders, hockey from, like I mentioned, the Sharks, who I think are kind of our number one competition for a playoff spot in the West when it's really all said and done.
Dude. All my sports bettors out there, I've been betting heavy on but these Sharks win games, and the books haven't caught up yet. The Sharks are good. Celebrini is legit, dude.
Yeah, fun team to watch, but ultimately we're at a little bit of a reset, it feels like, and you want to feel a reset now just over the holiday break. Wait until we get to the Olympics. Wait till there's a 2.5 week break. We're all going to be able to heal up. We just got to keep scrapping it out and keep hovering. Listen, there's this real gray area with the NHL right now, and this parity of that, quite a few teams that are going to float in and out. All it takes is an injury. And the Sharks are going to be feeling it. All it's going to take is a few weeks of bad play, and some of anything can happen still this NHL season. And I just having a few days away from the hockey, I'm feeling it. I'm actually feeling the optimism. We played that Colorado team hard. Of course, I was wrong. 4-1 Mammoth prediction was a little optimistic, and I ate shit on that one. But I thought we played pretty good against that Avalanche team, and so I think we're about right where we should be. Anything else you want to say over the last couple days? How would you do for your holiday, man?
I mean, holiday was very chill. The holiday was very chill. We did all my family does other stuff, so we all did it. We actually after we got done recording our last episode is when I went and did Christmas stuff. So that's why so my girl had to work Christmas and Christmas Eve. So I was just sitting at home because I had both days off, and I was like, man, I really wish I had like an 11 a.m. slate of hockey. And that's what I started thinking. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
we're really missing out, like, because there was no sports on. There wasn't even like Division II college football games or anything. I was like, dude, the NHL could dominate this like slate.
But John, did you watch any of the World Juniors or follow anything that went on with the World Juniors under
I
21?
do. US won, right?
US won, and of course, Canada beat Latvia, which is kind of what I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about. So let's rewind many weeks into the months category when we were probably in one of our first or second episodes doing our draft review. And remember, there was so much hype about whether or not Utah should or shouldn't draft Porter Martone. You remember
Yeah, yeah,
Porter
yeah.
Martone
I
and that whole
remember Porter
conversation?
Martone, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Canadian team was making a statement this year at World Juniors, and then they're shellacking. Well, not shellacking, but they beat Latvia. Empty net goal. Porter Martone hits the empty net goal and celebrates. Of course, gets penalized for it, and there was a whole fracas that came around to it.
I didn't see
People
that.
could be accusing. Yeah, well, the Canadian team could be being accused of being poor sports, but also, listen, this is kind of the FU mentality that, that is kind of the envy that the USA team is the envy of. Like, they go into some of these hostile environments, our USA kids, they go in with that FU attitude. So I think Canada
Yeah.
is kind of bringing their own attitude. So listen, if you are bereft of any sports material over the course, I guess the holiday's over. I'm got the next week off, but
Yeah,
World
yeah.
Juniors is going to be interesting to watch. Porter Martone,
So it's
going to be a
Canada
fun
USA for
player.
the gold? What are
I
the
don't know. I don't
lineups?
know if we're that point yet. We just there's a whole tourney going on, and I think we're just at the
Oh,
beginning of
really?
it. Yeah, I know it. US won, Canada won. There's a few other games to be played, but as far as Porter Martone is concerned, gosh, he sure fits the profile of a Philadelphia Flyer, in my
Oh,
opinion.
yeah.
All right. Oh, Juuso Välimäki. We should mention this to my fellow Finland hockey fans. Juuso Välimäki, of course, on waivers will probably clear and get to the Tucson Roadrunners, but
Yeah.
some experience with Juuso Välimäki as a defenseman. The Tucson Roadrunners are young guys in the AHL, kicking ass and
Doing
taking
pretty good.
names.
Yeah.
Dmitry Simashev, Maverick Lamoureux, Artem Duda, I think, is still doing well and thriving. Maybe at some point, John, we need to road trip to Tucson for a
Oh, dude,
Roadrunners
I
game.
want to super bad. Anyone that follows us on Instagram, mostly on Instagram, but I always try to repost. Roadrunners are crushing it right now, dude. Lammer, everyone looks fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, other minor league hockey news, the ECHL has come to a labor agreement with quick labor shortage for the ECHL, which, of course, meant the Utah Grizzlies and their not inaugural, not penultimate, what their final season, I guess, as a franchise here in Utah, briefly interrupted. Of course, it sounds like they've come to an agreement and the ECHL is back on. John,
Oh, I
where
just
would
looked up
you?
the World Junior Championships. As of
Okay.
today, Sweden beat Switzerland 4-2, and it's live right now. Finland, shout out, is up 3-0 on Latvia. So that's a live update if anyone cares about that. So it looks like those two will be moving on to the next round. No
Most of
surprise
these
there.
games, yeah, most of these games are broadcast on NHL Network, if I'm not mistaken. And on
Oh, really?
occasion, yeah, I think they're on the NHL Network. And occasionally you can get them on Sirius Radio. What's that? The satellite radio? I don't know. Check it out. You can probably
That's
Google
what it
it, but
used to be, at least.
yeah. Utah Mammoth players uh on the World Juniors, of course. Caleb Denway for the Canadian team, Tisha Ginla for the Canadian team, Cole Boudouin for the Canadian team. Um, Catch the Canadian team. It could be a lot of fun. Um, Anything else you want to talk about before we move to our next segment, John?
No, dude, I dude, like I said, we only had 2 games this week. We've all been swamped with everything when it comes to like holiday shit. Yeah, I'm chill, dude. I wish I had more insights, Lee. I'm looking at my notes. I like to keep notes when I'm watching hockey games, and I'm just it's kind of a pretty quiet week, man. Other than like I'm really proud of the boys for not losing by 10 to the Avalanche on Wednesday
Okay.
or Tuesday.
All right. Well, before we do our weekly look ahead at the games coming up, I thought I would introduce a fun new little segment that we'll pick up and put down as we please. Leroy's Killer Hockey Facts, we're going to hit right now with, of course, the story of Clint Malarchuk. John, have you ever heard of Clint Malarchuk?
I have not. Fill
Well,
me in.
He wasn't Guy Lafleur. He wasn't Grant Fuhr. He wasn't a goalie of great renown. However, he does have one very grisly sub note in the hockey universe, and that is on March 22nd, 1989, Clint Malarchuk was a goalie for the Buffalo Sabres, and the Sabres were playing the St. Louis Blues. And in a scrum in front of the net, a quick net crash, one of the Blues players' sticks came across and slashed Clint Malarchuk right across the throat, severing his carotid artery completely and nearly cutting his jugular vein. For a moment, everybody was kind of in stunned silence, and an enormous pool of blood began to aggregate on the ice. 11 people fainted in the stands that day. 2 people had heart attacks, and 3 players on the ice ended up vomiting. That the sight was so grisly. Now, Clint Malarchuk's life was actually saved incidentally that day because the trainer for the Buffalo Sabres, a man named Jim Penzelli, was an Army combat medic and knew exactly what to do in such a mangled, horrible situation. He immediately grabbed and cinched the wound completely together with his fist, and they dragged Clint off the ice as quickly as possible. Well, they did such a great job at stopping the bleeding that they managed to get him, Clint Malarchuk, on his own power off of the ice, but they were not out of the woods. Clint was so concerned for his own life that he had the equipment manager call his wife to let him know that he loved him. And he also knew that his mother was watching the game, and the last thing he wanted to do was have his mother watch him die. Well, when all was said and done, they had revived Clint so well, and he was feeling so much better with the pressure. Even after losing, what was it, a half a gallon of blood, okay, on the way to the hospital, Clint Malarchuk looks up at the paramedics and says, "Hey, I think I'm feeling a lot better now. It can maybe get me back over for the third period if you can get me sewn up quick enough." It took 300 stitches to close the 6-inch gash across Clint Malarchuk's throat. And 11 days later, Clint Malarchuk started another game for the Buffalo Sabres in net. And so that is what I have to say as far as the tenacity, the grit and grizzled facts for Leroy's hockey killer facts. So, anyways, that's the story.
Holy shit, dude. That's an epic story, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I figured we needed some filler this week, so I thought I would bring it.
Dude, I love Leroy's epic hockey facts. I'm gonna come up with a jingle tonight,
Yeah,
Pete.
yeah. Epic hockey facts, killer hockey facts, fucked up hockey facts. But
dude,
yeah, that's the story of Clint Malarchuk.
Nuts.
Yeah, Clint
You said that
Malarchuk,
was
of course,
in the
survived
late
the
80s.
Oh yeah, 1989. Yeah.
God damn, bro.
Yeah.
Hockey's different. I mean,
he was on the ice 11 days later.
11 days later. I mean, and that also reminds me of my favorite Gunther quote when he got hit in the face and fucking his whole face was fucked up. There was a reporter after he came back and he was Gunther Bubble. He was wearing the bubble mask. And they're like, well, how do you feel like you're going to be able to skate today? And he said, well, my legs are really far from my face. And I was like, and that's the epitome of hockey. And I love that shit, dude.
Yeah. Clint Malarchuk is still alive today. He's 64 years old.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Well, Lee, I talked to you last week that I wanted to come up like with some, because we're like professional sports reporters now. I wanted to come up with what we think that the Mammoth have to do for their New Year's resolutions. Okay. And so I got two main resolutions I need from the Utah Mammoth in this off season, right? We need Mammoth Tusk beers. Dude, every day I get on X or Twitter or whatever you call it, the Anaheim Ducks are running, or they're paddling laps around us because their merch people right now are crushing it. Their Christmas game, they had nutcrack. Did you see? It was like the duck hockey match, like nutcrackers, bro. They had the webbed Crocs. They had the actual, like, they're crushing. I need a Mammoth beer tusk, man. We'll pay anything for it. What do you
how long?
What do you think?
Listen, how long is it going to take for us to have expectations of the franchise kind of like that? We can make excuses. I can say, well, of course, the Ducks sucked for so many years. They know that they can't just be the new kids on the block and show up with a hockey team. But their merch is absolutely sick. So how long is it going to take, SEG Plus? How long is it going to take the Mammoth before we learn how to be cool?
Right.
Yeah. Also, so we've got this new hockey team, and we can corporate it up, and we can ban signs, and we can. But how long until we learn to be cool?
Well,
how long is that going to take?
I have a little rebuttal to that, Leroy, and I'm calling. Hold on. I'm calling all of you guys out because I know that the SCG Plus members, we hated the or not. That was the different one.
Bring it back.
Hated we hate not the Kazi, not the goal song. They hated the little like bass line in the fucking "We'll be right back," and it was like whatever the fuck it was. And then
you mean
SCG
while you're watching
Plus,
the game on TV?
Yeah, while you're watching the game. And they had a little bass line, but shout out Ben, you did it perfectly. Love that. But then then SCG Plus listened to you. And then they put a mountain that was shaped like a mammoth, and they had like a whimsical little breeze in the back. And then you guys still complained to them. And now guess what? SCG has commercials now, Leroy. SCG Plus has commercials now because you guys complained so much. I'll take the little baseline back over these commercials. We can't complain about everything.
No, I agree. So, well, look, there's a lot of complaints about that app. I mean, you're not the only one, John. Look, I'll tell you
Look,
what.
I can't think of the baseline. My bad, guys. I really have been humming it all day, and now I can't do it.
I'm going to be patient for one more season before I really uncork it. You know, on merch, on the creativity of the merch, on how we market certain things. Like, I'm going to take it a little easy, but I will say, and I'm not the first person to say this, so I don't want to steal anybody else's thunder, but every other person that I meet has said the same thing at the Delta Center, and it's a real problem. Okay. So I'm just going to say, guys, it's this. It's not this. Okay. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean, no shit. I looked up and there was it's not that. It's this. And you know what? Maybe just don't do it at all. Okay. Just don't do it at all. All right. It's this. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Right there.
All right.
Make sure the thumbs are straight, boys and gals and days. Keep it straight ish.
You know what it reminds me of? Is it reminds me of the clip of when Pat McAfee kind of made this whole thing up, right? And wasn't Ryan Smith was on the show and McAfee is doing it, McAfee's co-host is doing it. They're both doing the whole thing, and then close up to Ryan Smith, who's like this has
well, you know why he likes
something completely out of control.
He likes it because BYU does that.
Oh, is that right?
It's the why. So that's why me and Brandon at the beginning were doing this Tusk sub. We should do it like this. But if we did it like this, then they would be like, hold that L. So we can't really do it like that.
This is better. Look.
It makes more sense.
Stop it.
This is crazy.
Just stop it.
Yeah.
All right. Besides that, I'm not going to piss on SCG. Yeah, we got to get the app fixed. You know, okay, I got to tell you, the only thing. Remember last episode, I was complaining, I get so tired. I go at the West Coast games and fall asleep. Well, my wife, she doesn't watch the podcast, but she can hear me in the next room when I'm talking. She heard that shit. And so for Christmas, I got the projector that your phone like links to, and it'll shoot whatever your phone has on the ceiling so you can see the game, the Mammoth game that you're too tired to sit
so you've been watching it in bed like this?
No, well, I've been watching it out on the couch in the front room, but now I'm like, all right, I'm going to project this shit up on the ceiling, right?
Yeah,
or on the wall or whatever. Well, SCG don't play that game because SCG, I guess, has a block on screen.
If you try to cast it.
Is that it?
Yes.
I tried to cast it to the, it says no bueno.
That's
it says, yeah, it's, well, look, I got other options to figure out how to watch the game.
Yeah.
But it's just a little shit like that. You know how much goodwill got fried when they stopped allowing signs into that barn? You know how much goodwill and bitching SEG for it, and for what? And I know you were bitching about it again. I mean, I'm good with the team. Team's
I
right
mean,
where I'm at, but
I will tell you though, I've seen some pretty insane hockey signs as of late because I guess there's like this like new
heated
HBO show.
rivalry.
Yeah, yeah, that has
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
steamy homosexual relationship that has gotten the women crazy, I guess. So like I've seen some signs on X and on Instagram and other like Facebook groups I'm in that I'm like, if that was guys at WNBA games, we would be thrown in prison. Like
The
you
same.
can't play like come on
This
guys. You can't just be
well,
saying
the same gang of girls that are all into the heated rivalry bullshit are the same gang of girls on social media that complain when people notice that there's uh stacked ladies sitting behind the Dallas
right.
Stars bench during playoffs. It's just kind of like, the
Dude,
double
I get
standard between what is okay. And listen, and I'm going to say one more thing, which is total horseshit. Whether it's hockey, whether it's fucking baseball, whatever it is. Oh, but it's to grow the game. It's to grow the sport. Isn't that so great to grow the sport, to make the sport bigger? No, because the only people who make shit for anything when the sport grows is the people who make the fucking money off of it. But what eventually happens
100%.
is the sports transforms from something that you don't recognize anymore into something that, well, all the part-timers and the casual fans just really love in their part-time casual fan time. And one of the reasons I'm loving NHL more than I've ever loved it before is because it is a fringe sport, because it's still hockey, because it hasn't sold its soul off to who's going to compete for the Christmas Day game. It hasn't sold itself off to, well, for all the reasons that college football is kind of lacking right now, or the NBA for that matter. And so I'm completely fine with the game not being the most popular thing ever, so long as we keep it about what it's really about. And
The game.
I'm sorry, but heated rivalry is just not hockey. I mean, it's
No.
fiction on something, but
They
that shit
saw
ain't
they
hockey.
saw a smut novel into a series idea that they could just make some good money.
Well, sure.
And
Well,
I get it.
meanwhile, it's
I'm just
making the
saying,
rest of us want to fucking puke.
well, and what it's doing is it's getting rid of the honest, like cool signs because that's the reason they got rid of the signs. They got rid of the
Yeah.
signs because they don't want people to be like, hey, Dylan Gunther, I'll give you a fucking blowjob after this game. They don't want you to be up there
Yeah.
being like, fuck Israel or fuck Palestine or fuck Ukraine or fuck Russia. They don't want that. They're trying to avoid that whole situation. And I understand it. But the fact that you see these signage everywhere, I get why SCG got rid of it. And it's because of these type of smut bullshit that they're putting out there right now.
Because you ruined it. That's why we can, it turns out, because you ruined it.
Exactly. But that's what they're doing. They're just trying to save their ass.
Yeah, maybe that's true. Well, listen,
I want
Amber,
signs in the Delta Center, but I also get that if you have a player that's 21 years old and there's three girls that are like, show me your asshole in the stands, I also don't want to put my young play like if he comes to me and is like, that makes me mad uncomfortable, bruv. Like, I get it too.
comments about your asshole make you uncomfortable, bro? What's the matter with you? John, do you have anything else that you want to talk about this week before we go? I guess we got to take the look ahead here on
Yeah,
what's coming up over the next 3
Preds,
years.
Islanders, and Devils. But before that, no, okay. I will say this as we're going into the new year. I'm really excited for 2026. I think we're like I said earlier, I think we're doing great. I think we're right at 500, right where we wanted to be around right now. The playoffs are we're sniffing the playoffs. We're not far out of it, people. This isn't a shock show. We totally can turn this thing around and make a nice run. Remember last year we unfortunately had a fucking fall right at the beginning of the year. I think our fall might have already happened. So I'm hoping that we pick up some pace right now. We get a little bit momentum. Um but as far as like as these last two games, we looked pretty good. Vanacek gave me a lot of hope on that Colorado game. I didn't have any hope in him at the beginning. He played his ass off, and I'm really proud of that kid. And yeah, I think Preds, Islanders, Devils. I'll be at the Preds game. Hope you'll be there too. Yeah, I'm excited.
Preds game. Unfortunately, I will not be at the Preds game tomorrow night. But Preds game, what do you got? Win, lose, draw? What do you think?
I'm predicting a 2-1 win.
Okay. I like it. And then, of course, we're going to take off for a quick East Coast road trip. We're going to see the New York Islanders, the surgent New York Islanders with
They're
Horvat
looking
and
good.
Barzal. And, of course, rookie phenom Matt Schaefer. I think we're going to get beat in Long Island. I don't know about you, John. And of course, January 3rd, 2026, the second game of the new year, right over to the New Jersey Devils. And then, of course, we will talk to you again on our next installment
Lee,
of
give me your
Slapshot
predictions. Here's my
Utah.
predictions.
Okay.
Preds, I think we win 2-1. Islanders, I think we lose 2-1 in overtime. And Devils, I think we lose 3-4.
I think we beat the Predators straight up in regulation. We'll say 2-1. I like that score. The New York Islanders, I think we lose in regulation 1-2. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we beat the New Jersey Devils 3-1 in regulation.
Sick.
I don't know what my picks are this year, but they haven't been too great, my record. But besides that, we'll be back next week with another bang bang installment of Slapshot Utah.
Hell yeah. And I want to say, everybody, Happy New Year. This is so sick. 2026, we're going on, right? That's crazy.
Yes.
If you're more than 20 years old, it's ridiculous to even hear that word. But happy holidays, happy New Year from Slapshot Utah. Leroy, I love you, buddy.
Love you too, John. Love you, listeners. Have a wonderful 2026. See you in the new year.